Nothing too crazy to talk about this week, but I just wanted to remind you about something regarding injuries, in a workplace. This recent past weekend, I kind of was just going a little bit too extra crazy in my job just because I was kind of irritated. But I was just like trying to take it out in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, taking it out on somebody else who had nothing to do with it. That kind of resulted in me kind of, straining my shoulder a little bit. It happens, it's going to happen eventually. You're going to strain your shoulder. You're going to strain, your chest, your legs, your arms. It can be anything from anything. It's really just important to be mindful of the fact that you need to accept that you have an injury. And from that point on, just look up some ways, how to house that injury just to bring it back. Do not ignore it by any means, because I promise you it will only get worse, and it will only continue to get worse as you get older. I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that always tell me about these shoulder problems, these back problems they had that happened when they were in their fucking early 20s that they just decided to ignore. And it's just like, I just think, okay, I have a chance to be in my early 20s right now and not ignore my injuries, and so I don't have to deal with the effects when I'm that age. So it's like, why would I not take the opportunity to take that kind of stuff serious to prevent that, from affecting me later on? So it's just something I take very serious, my mom kind of makes fun of me sometimes, that, oh, you're young, you need to quit. You need to quit being a little crybaby. You need to just go thug it out, XYZ. I'm thinking about the long run. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's going to have to live in my body all the way up until I'm 60 or 70 years old if I make it that far. And me personally, I just don't want to be dealing with injuries and pain that could have been preventable in the first place. Keep that kind of stuff in mind. Because, like these jobs, like for example, my job, FedEx, my job has been great thus far. I haven't necessarily had too many problems. I got injured when I first started working there, and they took great care of me, paid for my doctor's bill, paid for my doctor's visit and whatnot. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you get hurt so bad where you can't go back to work, or your work just becomes completely painful to where it feels like you want to quit every single time, if you end up quitting your job or end up having to leave, they are not going to care. They're going to have somebody else come in and take your position. They already have somebody else there that can work your position. Like, they do not care. The only person that's going to be affected is you, because you're not going to be able to make the money that you were going to be able to work, and you're going to lose that stability. So you know what I'm saying? Just be mindful. Like I had an opportunity today. I could have went into work and, got the, $60 to $100 that I would have gotten from this shift. But they offered voluntary time off, so I went ahead and took that, because, I manage my money. So when stuff like this happens, I'm not scratching at the barrel, oh, I gotta get more, Just prepare for these situations. Always keep in mind that you could possibly get injured, and just kind of not necessarily be scared, but just A, be ready financially for that. B, be ready to accept that you have an injury or a strain, and do the research that you need to do in order to house it back to your original strength. Because, I know I want to live till I die. And I also want to try and live as most of my life pain-free as possible. So whenever I have a little strain or something like that, whether it happens at the gym, whether it happens at work, whether it happens messing around with my buddies, whether it happens at a festival, a concert, anything like that, I take that kind of stuff seriously. Because at the end of the day, not taking it seriously is the kind of stuff that's going to affect you later on in your life. And me personally, I just don't want those problems. And I don't want those problems for you guys either. So that's why I'm just like, taking a little step away from the motivation, just talk about something a little bit more real life, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, take it seriously. Take yourself seriously. Take your body seriously, because at the end of the day, you're going to be living in it, Nobody else. It's not about whether they think you're a pussy or not. It's not about whether you're proving to yourself as a man. Being a man is being able to accept the truth and move with, intent, positive intent. Because at the end of the day, being a man is being able to care for your family and protect and provide for your family all the way up into your later years of life. If I need to lay somebody down when I'm 60 and my shoulders hurt, how am I supposed to do that? So like, what I'm saying? I'm prepared, not for just now, but for later on, you know what I'm saying? I want to be strong for the rest of my life, not just right now. Because, okay, yeah, you might seem strong, like you're just thugging it out even though you're hurting. But, hey, when you're 60 or 70, you'll be feeling that shit. Trust me, fam. Like, it's not a game. This is not a game. This is real life. You can get hurt. It will affect you 20, 30, 50 years from now. And you will pay for the consequences of ignoring something like that. I promise you, you will. But once you get a strain like that, just step away from any extremely strenuous activities, whether that be your strength training that you're doing or working at a job like I'm working at. And then you just want to come with the heat therapy and the cool therapy. Heat, cool, heat, cool, heat, cool. You can look online how to apply that. I'm not a certified guy, but ice packs and a heat pad. It's not that hard. And then you can use stuff like a massage gun. And then I also have this right here, I'm pretty sure this is a racquetball. And, you just use that to, roll it out or whatever, on your chest, wherever it may be. Just, roll it out and all that's doing is circulating blood to the area. When blood gets there, it's going to kickstart the healing process, just allow, to heal and get back what needs to get back. So, it's really just that, it's really that simple. Some stretching, some, mobility, just anything like that. And then once you feel like you're up to it, the pain has subsided almost completely, don't think you're going to be able to hop right back into the weight that you were at, because I promise you, you will hurt yourself again and you'll be dealing with the same crap over and over again. When you go back, start with lightweight and just ease yourself back into it, every time I get up, bro, this is like the third time I've had a shoulder strain since I started going to the gym. It's not even been 2 years. But it's like every time I go, I'm putting some like 10s or 25s on there, and I'm like, yeah, bro, they definitely think I'm a pussy. But it's like, they don't know, so who cares? At the end of the day, I'm caring for my body the way I need to right now to make sure I'm going to be straight when I'm whatever age. Just do you, man. Just do you, take care of you, and look out for yourself. Look out for other people too, obviously, but look out for yourself, because at the end of the day, and I low-key stand on this, but no matter what, nobody's going to be looking out for you more than they're looking out for themselves. Except maybe your grandparents. My grandparents are pretty selfless. They love me a lot. But hey, nobody's going to be looking out for you as much as they're looking out for themselves. So keep that in mind. Know that. And just do you. Stay consistent with whatever you're doing, whether that be making money, saving money, going to the gym, nutrition, mental well-being, trying to be happy, trying to build a better relationship with your partner, trying to build a better relationship with your family. Just stay consistent and see it through and do what you need to do to make it happen. And it's as simple as that. See that through, and you have my word that it's going to work out. It's your boy Mount Chilla. Checking out.
Love my mom ever hit the way that she be weekend. Shit got me struck the fuck out.
Y'all already know what the fuck going, man. Y'all niggas not fucking with me.
Get into that pay. I really